What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. After Sound here, bringing you Golem Overlord content today. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. All right, guys. Well, we had a major purge last night, and you can see here the post from Yixin on the official Golem Overlord Peak D account. The Night of Reckoning is upon us, the grand event that will echo across our server, the Purge. Through the relentless pursuit of fairness and equality, we have fine-tuned and honed our bot detection systems to pinpoint the very epicenter of mischief. I'm not going to read the whole thing to you, but they uncovered a lot of farming operations that reeked of automation and an astounding count of 1,379, so 1,379 accounts, all steeped in deception, are facing the banhammer. So that is not the end of it, though, but it looks like over 1,000 or over almost 1,400 accounts were taken down. And there was a lot of talk in the Golem Overlord Discord last night about this. There are a lot of people pleading their case, and I would say a lot of well-known accounts. I'm not going to name any names here, but I think everybody will probably be able to figure them out. Or if they saw them, you see them around Splinterlands as well. So it's an interesting approach, and I'll say this, right? As a player of Golem Overlord, I am happy about this because this is exactly what Yixin said he would do, that there would be no botting allowed, and that he went through rigorous, methods of finding out who was botting, who was not, and essentially making the ultimate decision of shutting their accounts down. Now, here's the thing, right? Coming from a decentralized space like Splinterlands, something like this is actually a little scary, right? So now you can see just how different the approaches are for Splinterlands versus Golem Overlord. And I'm not trying to say one is better than the other. All I'm trying to highlight are the differences and maybe some of the pros and cons of each, right? So last night with Golem Overlord, we saw probably a lot of botting and farming, like very obvious botting and farming accounts, essentially get the banhammer. And ultimately, I think that's going to be a good thing for the ecosystem overall. And mainly, a big part of this is because I trust Yixin, right? And so here's the thing. I think Yixin is a stand-up guy. As I said, I'm not even bullish on the game itself. I'm bullish on Yixin and whatever he develops and puts out, because I think his pace and his delivery is awesome. So I'm just along for the ride, right? But at a certain point, if you do not trust in Yixin's judgment or do not trust in his ability or whatever the case is, then we get to a point where the whole decentralization aspect that Splinterlands is going for, that has a certain level of appeal. So getting into this game, getting into Golem Overlord, we were told from the get-go that this would be that there would be no botting allowed, that this would not be, this would be frowned upon, and accounts would be taken down. So the only risk for someone like me who does trust in Yixin is if, for any reason, my account gets shut down, which thankfully it wasn't. It didn't face the banhammer, and I am not botting my account, mainly because I don't know why. No, it's against terms of service, but also I wouldn't be able to figure it out if I needed to. I would need someone else to create a third-party application or token that would make it super easy for me. But, I'm curious to know, before I jump into another aspect for this video, I'm curious to know how you feel about this. What are your thoughts overall as a player in the game? I know a lot of people were happy, but does it give any reason for concern? Again, it's a level of trust that you have to have in the team or the developer as it is right now, and obviously the team if he ever grows this out. But there's a level of faith that you need to have, a level of trust and confidence that you have with that team in order to ensure that they don't do anything that is, unethical or whatever the case is, right? So at this point in time, I think the community is still small enough, and I'm curious to hear what your thoughts are. So if we go back over here, now this is my account, and I gotta say that with the banhammer, I was gonna make a video for this as soon as I hit top 1,000, and I was getting close, but with the banhammer, I essentially jumped up quite a bit. So now I'm in the top 1,000 players, which is something that I take a lot of pride in, and I'll tell you why. Because I have not bought a single part. I've not spent any money outside of the game, outside of what the initial cost was, like the 30 hive. Everything else has just been playing the game, showing up every 8 hours or so for my claims, and then building up my stats all across the board. So ultimately, to be in the top 1,000 feels pretty good. Now, granted, when we take a look at the stats of the game, this is kind of what I wanted to show. Well, first of all, in response to the banhammer, you can see here we went from almost 6,000 players, and we'd been at about 6,000 players, or 5,800 to 6,000 players for the past month. But we dropped down here, and you can see there's about 4,700, 4,750. So when I look at this now, it's just like, okay, you remove all the botted accounts or all the farming accounts. For me, as somebody who only just started playing the game and leveled up, I'm actually in the top 20% of players, right? Which, again, I don't mean for that to be like, oh my gosh, you're like top 900, top 1,000. That's not anything to be proud of. Like, the whole point that I'm trying to get at is you don't need to spend money in the game in order to enjoy it. Like, I've been having fun with the ride, and as you can see, just being consistent with it, I got a couple of different backgrounds. I'm stacking my shard. I'm building up my reputation and prestige, all of my different stats. I'm having fun attacking people that I know, right? And I'm sure people feel the same way about me. So it's been a good time so far. And again, for anybody who might still be skeptical about the game, simply because of, whatever the case was, I wonder how much attention like a video like this is going to get, because we're talking about banning bots, and obviously that's a very hot topic across just gaming in general, but obviously in the Splinterlands and Hive ecosystem. This is, if you're interested in getting in, I would say just spend the 30 Hive and join. Like, I've been playing for the last couple of months. I've been enjoying it. I've been able to level up, and like I said, now my next goal is maybe top 800, top 700, top 750. Top 500 eventually, and then we'll see where things go. But ultimately, I'm having a good time with it. So shout out to Yixon, shout out to the community, and I will catch you all in the next video and see you around the game. Take care.